Won't you please?
We're who you should be listening to, admit it. The prettiest Tiff in Carolina, get it? Love, family, and friends. This be the energy, a better understanding so we can all be complete. Each time spitting raw and unrehearsed, either in your feelings or laughing till it hurts. Love and Flaws, the show that you all need. Join us every week for the best of us, guaranteed.
Here we go.
What's going on? What's going on? This is the Love and Flaws podcast with the prettiest Tiff and your boy Carolina Sen. We are so happy that y'all are here with us. Listen, we love everybody that has been tuning in and checking us out. Humbly, we say thank you to that. So we about to rock this episode. Again, I got the prettiest with me. Tiff, how you doing today?
What's going on?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
That's what's up. So this one's gonna be an interesting one. I'm so intrigued to get Tiff's perspective, to get your insight on this one. Because I'll be honest, I've heard just little things here and there about this, and I don't know. I'm really interested in getting a woman's perspective on this. So
Okay.
there's been some terms thrown
There's a woman
around.
here.
That's right. The woman, Tiff, the woman. You know what I'm saying? My sis. So there's been some terms used over the last year, maybe two. I don't know how far back, maybe last year or two, that keeps coming up and being a subject, a matter of subject. It's called high value men and high value women. All right, so I'm gonna do what my normal thing is. I'm gonna say what my little piece is, and then bring you in on it. So, and the only things that I've heard about this being used, I don't remember who it was. Oh boy, that just died. That was that he did like a little show, and he always talked about high value men, and he was controversial, like because he would tell women that they weren't high value or they was had too many kids or whatever it is. So you correct me, because I know you said something about you looked it up and how it was defined and stuff. But so what I've been hearing is, so you looking at a high value man, and this is usually used in terms of dating and stuff,
Right.
where it's a man that has got a career, he's got his stuff together, and he's looking for a high value woman. The same thing, a woman who's got her head on her shoulders, who, again, I guess we'll get into it when you give me what the definitions are. But the controversy comes when people are saying that you're not a high value man, or you're not a high value woman, or there's hypocritical standards, or there's a bias towards one or the other. So the prettiest Tiff, please let me know what's good. What is this high value man, high value woman stuff that we hear about?
So, first of all, I looked up the definition, and I'm just going to break it down. I'm not going to go verbatim. But basically, the definition of a high-value man is a leader.
Okay.
Okay. Someone who controls the room when they walk in.
Okay. I'm feeling alpha-ish right now.
Okay. And then someone who is financially stable.
Okay.
That is what the definition basically breaks down to be.
So that's like the sum it up, the basics of it,
That's
right?
the basics. Y'all can go, Google the definition. But
Okay.
that is what the basis of a high value man is.
So I feel like
a
it's
high
like
value woman.
Okay, let's
is
roll.
Someone who exudes confidence.
Okay.
Okay. Someone who is a self-reassurer.
Okay.
Okay, so she doesn't need
her
anybody
self-esteem
else.
is on point, right? She's
Exactly.
not codependent
Exactly.
on nobody to survive, like mentally and stuff.
Or even give her accolades.
Right.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
She knows she the one.
She knows, right? And then the third definition, which brings us, it says knows who she is.
Oh, okay. A self-aware.
So, for me though, all of the talk of what a high value man is and a high value woman, the high value man definition is on point to me what people have been saying. If you think about Kevin Samuels, and what he talked about. His definition of a high value man was somebody who brought leadership and then financial stability.
Okay.
Right? That was most of his.
Right. Like the six-figure
It
type.
never talked about what you should look like as far as your physique, your body. It doesn't say anything about that.
Okay.
Okay. It talks about financial stability and then being a leader.
So that's the what you can bring to the table type. Like he the head of the table.
Right. But the head of the table in a financial aspect and a leader, right?
Okay.
So being able to run your household, right? Now, traditionally speaking, men bring home the bacon and women cook it, right?
Right.
So when I think of a leader, okay, just like with me and you, when we started this, I said, I'm going to follow your lead.
Right.
Because I have confidence in you that whatever path I'm following that you set forth, you're going to lead me in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
Okay. So to bring it to the woman, you have so many women out here, like, I'm a high value woman. I make just as much money. It never says that a woman is a high value woman based on the definition.
Right.
It's supposed to bring monetary contribution or leadership contribution.
Okay. So this is a traditional debate, is what I feel like, right?
Well, we're going off a definition. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with that.
Okay. Because what I'm hearing is an alpha male that gets paid. That's what I'm hearing based on that, right? Like
Absolutely.
you got to, and this is so funny because I told her I wouldn't bring her up in this conversation, but a friend of mine was talking about, we was talking about, because I feel like playing into this is then that makes him the dominant one in the relationship, and then we go into that is the woman being submissive, and me and her was talking about like, yeah, women can be submissive, but you're submissive to a leader. You can't be some clown ass motherfucker and expect that your woman is going to just fall in line, And again, we're not talking in abusive ways and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We're talking about in a traditional sense that is not, because some people are going to be like, well, that traditional sense is abusive. It's nonsense. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're definitely not talking about, oh, what I say goes to a detriment of somebody. We're talking about, I'm leading us down the right path, kind of like what you was talking about. And we financially secure because of me as the man, right?
Right.
So that, and the things that I was seeing was like, it was Kevin Samuels. I mean, he's the one who brought it to the forefront, right?
Right.
Yeah. It was always women coming on and giving him their examples of a scenario of a dating situation or something, and then he was I don't want to say he was tearing them down, you know what I'm saying, but he was getting at them like, you think you're more high value than you actually are. All right, so I don't know where I fall in this, Tiff. How do you feel? Like, do you think that's the way it is? It should be?
So let me say this. I'm very traditional.
Okay.
To a point.
Right. Because you are strong. I've always admired how strong you are now. So.
Yeah. Well, but you hit something. You said something that hit home for me, right?
Okay.
And you said, when I gave the definition of a leader, right, as part of being a high value man, you can't allow anybody to lead you.
True.
Right? I allow you to lead in our friendship because I trust that you have the best interest, not just for me, but for yourself. Because I don't want to follow behind somebody that don't care about themselves.
Right. Because they've been plenty of people follow bad. I said that before.
They ain't gonna care about me.
Right. And I've said that before. They've been plenty of people follow bad leaders. You know what I mean?
Right.
They lead you into an ambush or lead you down to financial crisis or whatever. You know what I mean?
So, with that being said, I do believe in a high value man and a high value woman. I do.
You believe they exist.
And I believe in the roles of a high value man and a high value woman.
Okay.
I believe that, however, let me say this. However, I believe it depends on what is high value to you.
Okay, because that's what I was going to go there next. Because I feel like people should do so. My opinion of it is, I feel like I'm a leader. I feel like I'm a walk in a room, and now I can coexist with other alpha males. I have no problem. I feel like a true alpha male can coexist with another alpha male, not a wannabe. A wannabe alpha male feels threatened by others, right? So I could be in a room with somebody else that's a superstar and we both shine. I don't have no problem with that, right? But I do know that at some point while I'm in that room, the attention is going to be on me at some point. Like that's how I am. I'm a supernova, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm gonna get mine off. That's
my brother.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't make apologies for that because I'm not an asshole about it, right? Like I'm not doing it. I'm not hyping myself up to take away from somebody else. So I don't have no apologies for it. So I do think I'm a leader. Everywhere I've worked, everywhere I've gone, I've moved up the chart. Like just naturally, it's gonna happen. And I do like being able. I do think there's an inner feeling inside you as a man to want to be able to take care of your woman. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about, huh?
It should be.
Right. Well, right. But we have a lot of people. I do, because it's gonna get touchy, right? Like it's the finance.
It's gonna get very touchy.
Right. The finances. They say the majority of marriages fail over finances, not over people stepping out. You know what I mean? Like it's fighting over finances. And you have people, and I have been in relationships where it's 50-50, right? We're like, we're each paying the rent, we're each whatever. That was not, I didn't want that though. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not what I wanted. That was the necessity. You fall for who you fall for, right? You know what I'm saying? So like I'm in a position in life where I'm not big time balling. I said this on the very first episode way back when. I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna show vulnerability. I'm gonna express so that men can feel like they can talk about these things and not feel like shamed about it, because we have that.
Right.
You know, I understand. Woe is me, I'm a man. I get it. Men run, men, it's a man's world as far as dominating the way the laws are written, unfortunately, things like that. But we have a man, like when it comes to men's mental health, we're not allowed to talk about these things like this. You know what I'm saying?
We'll talk about that.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna get to that too on the show. But so like I am not in a position right now where I could just I'm not balling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in that. Like sometimes you got to make a conscious decision about whether or not you're gonna start dating somebody.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is because I can't just lavish somebody with gifts, because I can't just do some of the things that I wish I've been in positions to do that before, but where I'm at currently in life, that's just not where I'm at. So I'm not high value now.
No. Well, based on the definition, you wouldn't be
right.
high
I'm
value.
not high value. You know what I'm saying? Because what I can bring to the table right now, like I can take care of myself and do other things, but I can't necessarily have a partner or a spouse and they be like a dependent, and they be a dependent, you know what I mean? And me just pay double everything that I'm doing. And I'm not even knocking people who are like, well, then I can't date you. Like I get it. That's if I was somebody else, this world is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get canceled. You know what I mean? But if I was a woman and I'm looking for a man, I want a man that's gonna be able to provide for me. I know from talking with people being able to provide for you and being able to keep you safe for like two of the key things. Now I know I'm keeping somebody safe. Yeah, I can run through a wall for a motherfucker. That ain't a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I can't. I'm not. I don't know that I'm buying us a mansion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But see, and for me though, just really quick while you're on that, for me, it says a man who is financially successful.
Right.
It doesn't say rich.
That's
And
true.
to
What?
me, a man who is financially successful is one that is able to take care of himself.
Okay, because yeah, there's levels to this now. There's levels to
Right,
this, right?
right.
Because there's a lot of dudes driving
If,
their baby mama's
if,
car.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if I'm like, listen, look, Sen, I'm in a bind. I know you don't make a whole lot, but I really need to pay this light bill. I got some of the money, but I need like $100 on it.
Oh yeah, I'm in a better position than a lot of people.
So to me, that is financial success. Now,
Right.
would it be nice to have a dude that you could be like, yo, can you pay my rent for this month? And he'd be like, yup, babe, I got you.
They out there.
That'd be great.
Listen, don't get it twisted.
But,
I am striving to be that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm trying to take care of somebody, like, you know, like just for the sake of taking care of somebody. But I'm striving to be in that position where, because why would I want my girl to have to worry about anything? Like that, to be, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Now,
but that's part of the leadership.
Right. So let me add this, like, that's part of it, right? Ambition plays into it, right? Because I could be sitting here saying, well, I'm gonna just take what I'm currently bringing in, and I'm good with that. Right. I'm not trying to expand and maybe venture into entrepreneurship or level up my pay in workforce or whatever like that. So I'm not trying to sit stagnant and just be like, okay, and then bitch about that I'm not a high value man and can't pull a high value woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm working towards it. But that's and they're out there. That's always been, I think this has always been a thing. It's just now with Samuels and then like now they put a
label on it.
Right. We put a title on it. You know what I'm saying? So
like, oh, this is a high value man. And it's crazy because I consider myself a high value woman based on the definition.
Right.
Right. So I'm a self-confident woman.
Absolutely.
My self-esteem is
as it should be.
Especially in this day.
Right.
Is it the highest it's ever been?
Right.
Now, I don't walk around thinking that I'm better than anybody.
Correct.
Because of that.
Correct.
But when I get into a funk or I start self-doubting, I start self-reassuring.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
So I have the mental capacity to do that, and that's what makes me a high-value woman. Is it great to get a compliment if I was with somebody every day to be like, baby, you are beautiful? Absolutely. But when I wake up in the morning with sleep in my eyes and feeling congested, I still look at myself and say, I'm beautiful.
Right. Absolutely. As you should. Absolutely.
It exudes from the inside for me.
Right.
So, and I'm going to just share something. So, a couple of people have said to me through this podcast, like, oh my gosh, Tiffany, you are so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I
are.
Why you call you, thank you.
Right.
I understand why you call yourself Pretty Tiff, right? But I didn't always feel like Pretty Tiff.
Okay.
From the inside.
Right.
I knew that if I walked out the door because of the way that I carry myself and how I dress and how I move, that I was going to be attractive to the outside world.
Right. Your presentation is on point. Right. Presentation
exactly.
on point.
On the inside, I didn't feel that.
Right.
So I'm saying that to say when I look at myself and I look at the definition of a high value woman, I am that woman, along with I can allow a man to lead me. Some women are like, I can do the same thing. No, I can't do everything a man can do.
I absolutely know. I absolutely know them types that are like, nobody gonna tell me what to do.
I'm not her.
Right.
I'm not she. I'm not. No, I want to be able to be like, I
Man,
can't
look,
do that.
I,
I'm not
f-
doing that.
I feel like it's let's just go back to one of them. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a difference between me being like, hey, I can't even, I'm such a good dude. I'm pat myself. It was hard to even say what I'm about to say, right? But there's a difference between me being like, hey, bitch, get in the kitchen and da 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 da, and me saying assertively, look, this is what we need to do to accomplish our goals. Right? So there's a difference between bossing somebody around
Yeah.
and leading somebody. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
um
absolutely.
so I get that,
I
but
think if you have a high value woman,
just say it. We can work it out.
that's not something that you
There,
even have to do. Let me tell you something. I don't care if my man made $17 an hour or $45 an hour. If he is going out and busting his ass every day and
right,
providing for our family, and that
right,
doesn't mean I don't have to work, but he is out there providing for the family.
right,
When he comes home, he's gonna have a cooked meal.
right.
Now, disclaimer: I've been married 3 times,
Right.
3 divorces. Any of my husbands will tell you they did not have to worry about cooking, cleaning, or maintaining the children.
Right. Now I think that's you set between each other how that the responsibilities, the roles of that goes, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think, because I like to cook, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem cleaning and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And but I get entirely what you're talking about when you're saying, you know, whatever your defined roles are with each other, uh, you've done your part, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
And I'm gonna do my part without him having
to like
to
beg you to,
facilitate it.
right? But that goes both ways, right? He got to do his part
Yeah.
too,
Oh,
right?
listen, now I'm not doing that.
That when they
When
talk
you
about
start
you doing
fumbling
wifey,
the
you doing
bag,
you doing wifey duties, and he acting like a boyfriend or whatever. You know
right?
what I mean? So
Exactly,
yeah,
and that's disclaimer. That's why my marriages failed, because I'm not gonna be out here holding my wife's standards up here, but you out here holding your husband's standards down here,
right,
but you want me to conform to these high standards of you being a husband, right?
right,
Now, what I will say is that with women, and me and my best friend were just talking about this because she made a statement. I said, I don't agree with you. She was like, men out here want you to be feminine, but they don't. I said, hold on. No man can give or take away my femininity, right?
right. But what
Who
was the
I
rest? What was she saying though? What was she trying? They want you to be feminine, but what?
but yet they don't want to be masculine in the sense of trust, like allowing you to trust them to do certain things, right?
Okay, okay,
Or um, think about it this way: a woman meets a man. I don't need your money. I got my own money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to change the tire on a car because I got money to be able to go down to the tire shop and get the tire changed. So what
right,
do I need you for?
right,
So she felt like because um, men don't do what they're supposed to do, that takes away the woman's femininity. And I've seen this on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. Women are like, oh, women have changed because men have changed.
I mean, I do think some of that's true though.
And I agree to a point, but I'm gonna tell you this: no man is gonna take my femininity away.
Right,
When
right.
I walk in a room full of men, they know
Okay,
it's a woman
so
standing.
so I 1000% agree that you can be strong and still be feminine. I don't,
Well,
I
I
don't.
think she was saying strong to the point of, and again, we're talking about traditional, I guess, roles.
Right,
I think she believes in traditional roles, and that's why I say that. I think she was referring to the fact of, you have women out here so hard, and when I say hard, internally hard, that if a man does approach them, it's almost like what can you do for me?
Right. Okay. So let me jump in. I feel like every week I'm gonna have this moment. I feel like every week I'm gonna have a moment where the bros are gonna be like, Sam, what are you doing? What are you saying? I feel like every week I'm gonna have a moment where they're gonna want to revoke
Lord,
my bro
listen,
code.
please no, we gonna get some inbox.
No. What I'm saying though is traditionally, men been dropping the ball. I think when you say like women have had to do it because men have been falling off,
Right.
that's been happening. I feel like that's been happening.
That should determine your femininity.
Okay, so there's perfect world and then there's the world we live in, right?
Okay.
I think that it's I she could correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, when she listens to this, she's like, he was either right on or no, that ain't what I was saying.
Right,
Whatever, right? But I feel like she's saying as a reaction to the way men have been dropping the ball. Or whichever partner, because I believe, I don't think the tradition, like I agree, whatever people's lifestyle they want to do, they do, right? But whoever is traditionally carrying that dominant side, right? That have been so if you're in a relationship and that person is dropping the ball, then you start doing other things because we don't let go of relationships as soon as we should, right? We hold on way longer than we're supposed to. And during that process, we are trying to make up for the things that are lacking, right? So I do think if we just go with tradition, women have been trying to make up for the things that's lacking. And through no fault of their own, I feel like maybe I'm not up here trying to speak for women, but you tell me, right? Through no fault of their own, it's having to start doing that. It's probably difficult. I imagine it's difficult to balance picking up the slack and keeping your femininity at the level that you want to keep it at, right? You're super strong and you have that, you that ish, you know what I'm saying? You're dope. So maybe it's easier for you, right?
Yeah.
But somebody else that's like, I got to pick up this slack. I'm sacrificing, I'm trying to balance, and they just not, and maybe it's just a little harder for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like maybe that could be it. Because I 1000%, right? We again, my bro code, my card, whatever. We not out here handling our business like we supposed to.
And I agree with that. Men are not out here handling their business, and I guess the way that I see it is I'm not gonna let any man take me as a woman away from me. Now that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stick with you through all of that shit, right?
Right.
So and you've been with me through 2 of my marriages.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So everyone has their breaking point.
Yeah.
But even with that breaking point, I didn't break my femininity so much that my femininity was exuding so that the next person saw it.
Right. But you know, when I was like, I'm different, Tiffany, you different because you are powerful embodied. You know what I'm saying? Like you just dope. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't make me cry.
So like and that's not knocking those who can't, but sometimes that's like life can be harder than a motherfucker. Like it just.
But you know what I realized one point that you just hit earlier. It is harder for other women.
Right.
But I think the woman that is easier for, a lot of women don't want to take the advice. You understand what I'm saying? For example, if I'm in a relationship with a man who is a high value man to me,
right?
He doesn't have to ask me to rub his back. He doesn't have to ask me to give him compliments. He doesn't have to ask me to give him reassurance. He doesn't have to ask me to have peace in his life.
Right.
He doesn't have to ask any of those things from me. And when you talk to other women, it's like, I'm only going to do that when he proved to me that he deserves that. Well, what if a man said that to you? You're a woman, but I'm only going to treat you like a woman when you prove to me that you're a woman. The
It's
woman is
a
gonna look
now
at
we
him
had
like
a
this is crazy.
now we had an impasse, right? And it's the what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? And you see, like I be trying to tell my nephews and stuff, you know, they um like, and I have this issue with my strong, powerful, beautiful daughter, right? Like, I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me. They gotta earn my respect. Like, but at a certain level, there's gotta just be a respect, a mute, like until it's disrespected, right? Like you don't. If I meet somebody for the first time, they're gonna get a small amount of respect, like at least a small amount of respect. There's a minimum standard. Now, where we go after you start talking to me, right? You know what I mean?
It's up to you.
But there's so many people that's like, no, you have to do me first before I do you, in
And
whatever
I
regard.
don't believe that. I think that's our problem. I think that's our downfall. I
Right,
really do. I think that as a human society, that is our downfall.
right,
And I think especially with men and women, it's always and this is on both sides, but I think like you so eloquently said earlier, men are dropping the ball.
right,
And it's causing women every action has a reaction.
right,
So that dropping the ball is causing women to be like, nah, you gotta prove to me.
right.
Like you walking in the room saying that you a man and having a penis. Can I say that on here?
You say whatever you want, mama. We
Okay.
say whatever we want.
You know what I'm saying? You walking in the room as a man having a penis is not enough anymore, right? For me to tap into my femininity. I need you to prove to me that I need to tap into my femininity for you. And maybe I was just raised old school.
Right.
A man walks into a
So
room,
so traditionally, then
before
that's
I know anything, I'm gonna respect him as a man first.
right. So that's the courtship phase, the old school courtship phase, right? Like we getting to know each other. I'm presenting myself as a man and I'm displaying what is supposed to be the high value of me.
Right.
And then you reciprocate based off of that.
For me personally.
I'm just saying in general, that's used to how it used to be, right? That's the
Yeah, yeah.
courtship phase, right? Like let me
Right.
I gotta we again, I always talk about it, we animals, right? I'm sticking my chest out, I'm doing my little cockatoo dance to get your attention. I'm
Right.
presenting my high valueness. And then you decide if you go ride with me or not. That I feel
Right.
like so I feel like this whole high value men and women thing just that's it's just renaming stuff that we've been doing forever
We
anyway.
party forever.
Right.
Exactly. And if you think about it this way, when it I'm gonna put it in this and my brother, my biological brother, said it best to me one time, and he said, "Women are out here fighting for equal rights for everything, right? But
True.
then, but then you'll turn around and be like, but I shouldn't be doing that because that's a man's job."
Right. Right.
And people, listen, women don't hate me.
Oh, here's your
My heart
moment
is
now.
good.
Here's your
I,
moment now.
I don't want to do everything a man could do. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
I want to be able to come. That's just like if you were here in my house right now and my
Right.
trash was full. I don't even feel like I would have to ask you to take my trash out. I feel like
Right.
you would be like, yo, Tiff, I'm gonna get the trash for you. Now some people are like, oh my God, it's trash. As a woman, if a man is in my presence, I'm not taking out no trash.
Right.
When my sons come to my house to visit, if my trash is full, they take out the trash.
Right.
Now, if they're not here, then I have to do what I have to do, or my daughter has to do it.
Right.
But because I have to do it at times, doesn't mean that I don't recognize when a man walks into the room and can take out my trash. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
I see how you brought that back around. Yeah, I see how you
What
brought
I'm
that back
saying?
around. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like women use it as an excuse at times to be like, I don't have to act like that because men ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Well, all men don't do what they're supposed to do.
True.
If I'm in a relationship and that relationship doesn't work out because that man is not meeting my needs, am I gonna go to the next man and be like, it's your fault because that motherfucker didn't meet my needs?
That's what happens though. That's what we do.
But I'm not doing that.
We let
I'm
we
not.
let we
I'm
let
not
our
chasing
own
behind you. I'm not doing none of that.
we let our old wounds bleed onto the next person.
Right. So how can you consider yourself though a high value woman if you don't have the confidence to go into the
So
next relationship.
okay, so this is where I think the show go to turn, right? So we at a point where they don't care. They're like, nah, you got to show me. That's it. That's where we at. Like, you just got to show me.
As far as women.
Right. You got to show me that. And I'm not saying I'll be honest with you. I'm not even saying I disagree with it. I think there's some clown behavior, right? Where it's like I had somebody slide into my inbox a couple weeks ago, and they was like, they tried to gas me out. They like, yo, you sexy as fuck. Boom, boom, boom.
And he is.
Thank you. And then they hit me with, yo, I'm trying. I need some help. This was the first time we really talked. You know what I mean? And I'm like, slow down. We just started talking. Like, this is the first time we really talk. I'm not about to send
like
you
financial help.
Yeah, like I'm not about to send you some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you trying to gas me up a little bit, but like, I don't even know you. But there's dudes that's gonna.
As a woman, do I have to gas you up?
Hold on. Hold on.
Something.
Hold on. Let me get to this though, because there's dudes that will do it. There's dudes that will do it, and there's women that are like, if you broke, just say you broke, right? There's women that are like, if we start talking day one, and I'm like, yo, go spend this on me, and you can't do it, then you're not. What they think high value men supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And they like, oh, if you broke, just say you broke.
Right.
And and I think it's an overcorrection to the fact that men have been dropping the ball and we out here acting like punks.
Okay. If I meet a man for the first time and he's throwing money at me,
but you different. Like, so you different. Right.
But you just throwing money at people. You understand?
Right.
This is your MO.
But what I'm saying is women that, because we done dropped the ball so much, they like, I got to get it out the gate.
I got to get something up front.
Right. I got to get it out the gate because you about to be because in 2 weeks you about to be a clown.
What does that make you?
They still think they high. They still think
what?
Because
no.
Whoo, let me tell you. Because why is it
before the services are provided?
Why is it? Now I said this in the first way. I got attacked. I said this in our first episode about pussy make the world go round. So why is it that has value but dick doesn't have no value? Right? Because chicks would be like, I'm giving you pussy, you should be doing all of this. Well, like, well, you got dick too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you not doing other things too? Like, so why you giving just pussy, I'm giving dick and having to do other things. You see what I'm saying? Because women are like, and I get it, and it's supply and demand.
I'm gonna answer you real quick, brother. Okay. I'm gonna tell you why. Because most women, sex is on the bottom of the totem pole.
What do you mean?
So in other words, for men, I'm not saying women don't want sex.
We value it more.
Exactly.
Right. So it's supply and demand.
Our values are different.
Right.
Our values in a man, that's why I believe with this definition, right? Because you talk about a high value woman is somebody who is put together physically, has self-confidence. All of these things exude as your femininity and as a woman, which men look for. Men are visual creatures, right?
That's
so
true.
I see you're beautiful. On top of that, you hold yourself together. You don't have, I don't need to just, coach you all the time. Where, let's be real, men or women are more like not physical, right? I need to see action. That's what tells me that you're a man. You being able to screw me real good don't make you a man.
Right.
It doesn't.
Right.
But your leadership qualities make you a man. Your financial stability makes you a man. Your leaders, you know what I'm saying? All of these things make you a man, where a man is like, can she turn me on? Can she provide me what I need? And I'm not saying all men, and I'm not saying
No,
that's the
you're right.
only thing, but
Right.
that's the upfront.
Okay.
That's the thing for her.
So are we on board with? So here's the thing, though. Like I said, so like I'm not gonna be considered a high value man by definition.
By definition.
By definition, and there's a lot of women that ain't gonna be considered high value women by definition.
No.
So, so I think the whole thing's trash. I think the whole thing's garbage, right? I think that when you are, I think you have whatever. I don't think the definition applies to everybody. I think that you have values that you find interesting, right? So for people, right? So like me, like when we was talking about cooking, cleaning, all of that stuff, that's not a necessity for me. That is for a lot of men. A lot of men like, yo, when I come home, there better be a plate on the thing or whatever. And again, because I believe I understand the way the world has evolved, and I'm more accepting. Like whether it's your partner, it don't necessarily you falling on me. So
No, I was making sure.
but like I think you put value in the thing. So for some, like for me, loyalty and honesty is more that's gonna make a woman high value to me. Not it. I've dated women who can't cook.
Right.
You know what I mean? So loyalty and honesty, that's high value to me. Right.
Okay.
So I think the problem that we have nowadays is we don't know how to properly identify and define the values that are actually important to us. We think we want X, Y, and Z. And then we get into relationships with people and they either A, don't fulfill it, or you find out that's not really what you value.
Or you realize that's not what's important to you. Right? You may value those things, but that's not the end all be all.
Right. Because people with those high value relationships still cheat because they not getting one of they, and I'm not co-signing cheating, but you typically, unless you're just a bad person, you typically cheat because there's needs not being met.
Well,
it is. I'm not saying
because a revenge factor.
But there was a you cheated because they cheated.
You're right, because it was a need of loyalty.
Right, that you didn't get.
So I was like, okay, you're not gonna give it to me. I'm gonna show you how it's right. You're right.
We tend to forget that most of our outward emotions and actions are secondary. Right?
Yeah.
So I tell most of my employees all the time, like that when we deal with customers, when they call and they mad, they're not angry with you. They mad because their business can't do X, Y, and Z, and we need to be able to assist them. That's frustration. That's what leads to the anger. So your revenge, which I didn't think you had that in you, Tim. Like, you know what I'm saying? But either way, you know what I'm saying?
It took a while.
That
it wasn't
was
that
right.
was the first step.
Oh,
I mean, that was
for sure.
years in the making.
For sure.
So,
but that was a secondary reaction to your need of loyalty not being met.
Come on, brother.
I'm gonna say it every week. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm different.
That's the truth.
So I think the high value man, I see why it gets criticized a lot. I think the high value man, high value woman thing is nonsense. I think you gotta like I said, we gotta identify what actually means a lot. Because I'm gonna say it, I crave intimacy right now over sex. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had some amazing sex too. Like I've had, you know what I'm saying? But I'm craving I'm craving intimacy.
Yeah.
I need the value in a person so that when I'm doing things that I enjoy in life, there's value with sharing that with somebody. You know what I mean?
This is a great way to kind of wrap this up because what we were talking about with the value, it's where you are to in life. Now,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, those definitions for a high value man mean something to me. But the stage I am in my life, I need connection.
Right.
I need emotional
Right.
connection, and that is what I'm valuing more. Do I need you to pay my bills? No. Would it be nice? I ain't gonna front. Absolutely.
Right.
But for me, it's more on I need an emotional connection to you. I need to be able to enjoy life with you. And if you
Exactly.
come into my life and you like, listen, I got all the money in the world, but I can't spend no time with you because I'm too busy chasing this bag, you're not high value to me.
Right. And now the
Because if
pool
I want
boy,
to, I can go
not
chase the bag 24 hours a day too.
right.
But I don't want to do that. I
And
want to live life and travel and enjoy.
right.
So I'm with you. You like that was the perfect way for you to bring that to a close and make it make sense. Do I disagree with the definitions? Not 100%, but do I agree with them 100%? No. And listen,
Right.
I'm a Libra. So as a Libra, I always look at both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
My friends say that all the time. Tiffany, you a Libra, so we come to you because you're gonna give us the good and the bad.
Right.
You're gonna look at both sides of points of view.
I'm a
But that
Taurus, but
that
I'm
was
a Taurus, but I do the devil's advocate thing. All the I
yeah, you
it's one
do.
of the biggest compliments that your friends can give you is when they like
Yeah.
I would tell you it's funny. One of the biggest compliments I got on that from a friend was I posted something and they didn't agree with it. And it was my friend. It was, I mean, I'm friends with her too, but I know her through him. Like they got married. It's my boy, one of my boy's wife, right? And so she calls him my guy, and it's like, I can't believe Sin just posted that. Like I usually, like he's usually so down, like, and that was the biggest compliment because it's like I try to be as impartial, I try to be as objective as possible.
Yeah.
So some people are going to be with it, some people are not. Now, real quick before we go, my
Okay.
daughter, my daughter, I'm if I'm giving her advice, I'm giving her advice about the high value man, like not man or woman. Like my daughter's
Oh yeah.
my daughter's girlfriend is beautiful, right? But so what I'm
And
saying
my
is,
my daughter is both.
right.
So
So in your partner, I'm giving her that I'm like, I need this. I as a dad, I want this partner to be able to take care of you physically, financially, and emotionally, right? So so a part of that, I like you said, I agree with part of it. I think we really got to dial it in. You know something else we do, and we'll have to talk about this another time. Like we just we don't see around stuff. Everything's just black and white, or it's just this definition. There's more to things. You know what I mean? So you can have that stuff and other things,
absolutely.
right? And then you
And
gotta
I think we have to, like you said, dial into that later. Because there was even a post that I put up a while ago, and it was off of another podcast that I had saw, and they were like, a guy said what you said. He was like, listen, all of this high value man and women stuff with it. He was like, I'm a father, and if
right.
my daughter comes to me, I'm going to tell her I don't want you to be the main breadwinner of your home.
Right. Facts. Facts.
And
So
the problem is that people that are not parents don't understand that concept because you ain't been a parent yet.
I mean, I don't think that they can't understand it. I think
I don't think so. I
it
don't think
bring
you fully
it
understand
it
it until you have a
amplifies it.
child.
It amplifies it because once you have a child, you so protective. Like to me, good parents at least.
And not even protective, you want the best
Right.
life.
Well, for me, that's part of the protection for my daughter.
Okay.
Is that it's an umbrella.
One-on-one.
It's an umbrella for that, you know. But we could get into that. But before we go, I want to say this to everybody, right? So I don't want anybody to feel any kind of way when we're talking about traditional and stuff like that. I love everybody. I want everybody to love who they love and everything like this. I want the moral of this to come away is the value that you need to worry about is the value for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand how much you guys are worth, how great you guys are, and how much people love and enjoy your time. I value almost all my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, everybody inspires somebody in some way. And then once you can value yourself, then you can figure out what value it is you're looking in somebody else so they can complement your life. You know what I mean? So,
Yep, and don't let anyone take your value away
right,
because of who they are.
right,
It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with everything about who they are.
right. Tiff, do you know how many stars are in the galaxy?
I don't.
But they all shine. So, you know what I mean? Like, nobody else is gonna steal your shine. You know what I mean? So.
That.
Yo, so that's us. That's Love and
That's my
Flaws for
guy.
this week. The
He is the
prettiest
bomb,
Tiff.
y'all.
Thank you. The prettiest Tiff. I'm Carolina Sen. Please take us
My
out.
brother, I love
Again,
you.
we love y'all. Deuces.